That's right, you guessed it. It's still too dang hot for tea. Let's ramble! I washed my favorite hat, so it's not quite so dirty. Welcome back to Stormin' Norman Says. I'm Stormin' Norman. That must mean I have something to say. Apparently Stella has something to say in there too. But it's Ramblethon time. And Stella's going to bark. And I couldn't find my microphone. The lighting in here looks like garbage. But here we are. Y'all would think I don't prepare for these things, but I do. You know, I was at work today. And I wrote out an outline of what we're going to talk about today and then forgot it at work. So there's that. Doesn't do me much good over there. And I was about to hit record. Actually, I had already hit record on the thing. And I'm like, where's my microphone? If I clean the desk, I might could find it. Anyway, I'm going to try and remember the things that I had written on my notes at work. I was going to write them again, but like I said, when I do the Ramblethon, when I do any video, really, I have a small window. Like, hey, gotta get it done. So we're going to get it done. And today we're going to be covering some things, not a whole lot of things, because I didn't have a lot of things to talk about this month. And I threw up a Q&A post and only got one question. Let me get it here. Where did I put it? Here we go. One comment. So there's that. And don't have a lot of pen, notebook related things to talk about. We got a few. And we're going to start off with my birthday. I wrote it in my thing. I wrote it in my Commonplace book that we're just going to talk about my birthday, as I turned 45 this month. Also, I wrote a poem for the Asvine pen that we're going to review next, because why not? So as y'all know, I turned 45. What's today? The 30th? Today's the 30th. Y'all will see this 31st. So 3 weeks ago, I turned 45. And it was weird, kind of. It probably won't sound weird to y'all, but it's weird to me, because I enjoyed it. Like my birthday. Not turning 45 thing. Didn't enjoy that. But I enjoyed my birthday, and that's never really been a thing I put much thought into. That's one of the differences that me and my wife had when we were still together, was that she was really big on birthdays. And like the whole month of her birthday's in August. The whole month of August. My birthday month. But I wasn't raised that way. My parents raised me, especially my mom, was like, oh, it's just another day. Your birthday's just another day. So that's just kind of how I looked at it. Never really too excited about birthdays. But maybe Facebook plays a role in it, because knowing that all these people that you never talk to are going to wish you happy birthday kind of makes you feel appreciated. Sometimes I don't refer to it as my birthday. Sometimes I refer to it as Richard Appreciation Day. So it's good to feel appreciated, I guess, especially when you've been in my situation for the past over 3 years of just being lonely. If we're going to get right into it and say it out loud, you know, the things you're not supposed to say that out loud. It's been a lonely 3 years, you know. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Okay, nobody wants to hear you, whine and cry about your problems and stuff. So we won't do that. But what we will do is say that I enjoyed my birthday. I enjoyed that little video I made for y'all on my birthday. Maybe we'll make that like a yearly, maybe not the same kind of video next year, but maybe we'll do some special video for my birthday next year. Some where I bestow my wisdom upon you. But I enjoyed my birthday. Even though it was on Thursday, I still enjoyed it. And it's funny, at work we have 3 birthdays in a week. We used to have 4, but somebody left. But we have 3 birthdays in a week at work. And it's mine, then one of the other managers, I think his birthday is the 11th. And then the office manager, her birthday is the 16th, I think. So within a week, we have 3 birthdays. Anyway, I enjoyed my birthday. And I appreciate y'all if y'all said happy birthday. 45. To look on the bright side, 20 years. I only got to work 20 more years. Then I can retire. Stella's finished eating, so I'm going to go let her out now. I'm going. I'm coming. By the way, I wanted to show y'all this. For those of y'all who don't live in Florida, a perfect illustration of what a typical Florida summer day is. This was about an hour ago. It was like torrential downpour. Wind was blowing. Like I thought maybe a tornado had snuck up on us or something. And then 10 minutes later, it looked like this. So, typical summertime in Florida. But, what we're going to do now, what's on the list here? Let's show y'all the giveaway box. Some of y'all are new. So, we'll show you the giveaway box, and I got 2 more things I'm going to put in it. So, just to be clear, this is not the box that we're going to be sending it out in. This is just a box that I happened to find at work, and I brought it home because I was like, that'll work. So, if you're new here, we did some giveaways this year. How many we do? 2. And I don't like going to the post office, but I do like giving stuff away. So, you know, it's kind of catch-22 there. And I buy these things, and I review them, and sometimes I'm like, I like it, but I'm not necessarily going to use it. So, put them in a giveaway box. So we'll recap, okay? We'll recap what we got in here. We got 2 Dank notebooks. The bigger one, whichever size they call that. With the spooky trees on it. And the little pocket one with the sign on it. We got the, what was this called? Hongdian M2? Is it the M2? I don't know what happened when I just got up to let Stella out, but I feel an allergy attack coming. I got some dust in my nose or something. Not good. Let's see if we can get through this. We got the Hongdian M2 with an extra nib in there. The medium, is that the medium? Yeah, the medium nib. It's got the extra fine. It's got the extra fine nib in there and a medium nib. If that's your jam, throw it in there for you. We're going to put, I've told y'all this already, but I still haven't cleaned it out. I just had it because I used it in the other video. The review video we just did. I'm telling you, man. This desk. The Jinhao 85. Little mini. In there. I hate this pen, so I'm gonna make one of y'all have it. That's what friends are for. But you might like it. You might have some kind of magical trick to make this right like butter, but I do not. But I gotta clean this out before I put it in the box. Then we're gonna add today, let's see if I got, and we'll start with this. This This is a Retro 51. Y'all seen me do a video on this. A little copper jam. Look at that little tiny thing. When I ordered this, I thought it was a full-size pen. I did not know. Thankfully, that didn't land on my glasses. I didn't know it was that big. Or that tiny, I guess is proper to say. So, I don't know where the paperwork that came with it is, but I do still have the tube. So we'll put that back in the tube in the giveaway box. Man, I can just feel it. What did Stella do to me? So I think they're all up here. I don't know if I did a review on these, but I think we mentioned them in a Ramblethon. The mild liners. This is the mild liners I bought. It's like a standard. I know they make these in like 155,000 different colors. But these are the ones I bought in the giveaway box. I like them. I just don't ever use them. Like, they're cool, but I have highlighters and I don't use highlighters like all that often. So we'll just stick with what I got. And y'all can, one of y'all can have these mild liners. So that's an update on the giveaway box. And that will be up for grabs later at the end of the year. I still haven't decided when we're going to do that. Probably in November. Now I want to tell y'all about my Commonplace book. But I want to try something with this microphone. Hang tight. So this microphone has a 1/4-20 thread on it. So I thought we'll stick it on my little thing here. How about that? I don't know if that's going to work, but it's cool. I just got to figure out where to put this light. There we go. I just need something to hold this microphone so I can show y'all the Commonplace thing I got to come up with. It ain't nothing groundbreaking. You know, it ain't nothing that's going to knock your socks off and be like, wow, I wish I'd have thought of that. But I told y'all a couple weeks ago, however long ago it was, that I found myself at work with nothing to write on, which seems dumb. Y'all know I got all these notebooks that I took with me to work. Unfortunately, I have a specific purpose for those notebooks. Not just, hey, I need to write this down, grab a notebook and write it down. I don't have one like that. So I took my Commonplace book that I had quit carrying to work to save, space in the bag and whatnot, and I started toting it again. And if you're new, this is just some leather A6 cover that I bought on Etsy from somewhere. And I got some cheap little knockoff moleskin pocket thingamabob in it. And I put a pin loop on it the other day. So this was like my Commonplace book starting in 2023. Because like the first things I wrote in here was it was September. But I went and did that trip to the mountains, and I did that video that accompanied it. I'm sure y'all watched it by now. I linked it in a previous video. I'm sure y'all flocked over to my other channel and watched that. But I wrote 1, 2, 3. I feel like it was more than that. But 3 pages of notes for that video in here. And that was in 2023 at the end of the year. So I had, when I started, a what you call that? Legend. And I would put a square around poem ideas. I put a circle around general ideas. I'd write my feelings down and underline it so I would know that and some other stuff in here. But that quickly fell by the wayside. And it just became a spot for me to brainstorm. That's a good one. take notes. I watched some videos on how to make better YouTube videos, and I wrote notes on those videos in here. And every now and then I write a list of video ideas. Here's some notes I took on Hemingway's writing exercise to help me become a better writer. What else? More YouTube guides. Some messenger bags I was looking at, but you already bought one of them because we've already done several videos on that. Alexander writes, if you've never watched his channel. 5 tips to write a book. So there's that. A journaling method. I wrote that. And then a whole bunch of research I was doing when I was buying a new pistol. I did a video on that too last year. Some video game notes for the game I was playing, Fallout 4. Best game ever. Where to find certain weapons in the game. Camera, when I was researching cameras. Wrote down what ISO, aperture, and shutter speed are because I wanted to know how to use it. We're going to talk about cameras in a little bit. That election video I made last year that flopped pretty hard. And this other stuff, but here's the point. All this stuff was written in here just randomly. There was no way for me to go back and like say I wanted to flip through, like, where's that one thing I wrote about that one thing? And I couldn't just flip through and be like, oh, there it is right there, because it all looks the same. It's just a bunch of scribbled notes and stuff like that. So, did I write down the thing here? I don't know if I wrote it down or if I just expected myself to remember it. I guess I just expected myself to remember it. But you come in now. I took my multi-pen. I was like, this would be a good use for my multi-pen here with all the different colors and whatnot. So anything related to YouTube, I wrote in red. And if I didn't write it, like going forward, that's how that's going to work. But going backward, I put a little star in the color that it corresponds to. So anything YouTube in my book here is red. Ramblethon and upcoming videos right there. Anything green has to do with writing, like story ideas or tips and tricks on writing better stories. So I got Jerry Jenkins World Building. He's an author and makes YouTube videos about writing. I got a green star next to that, so I know that it has to do with writing. And then a blue star, or in the future, if I write the title in blue, blue star is a quote. And I think that's the only colors I got. I think that was the only colors, because that's the main thing I wrote in there. And I went back a couple pages, or maybe a green star ain't necessarily writing. It's just notes. So green means notes. If I took notes on something, red means YouTube related, and blue is a quote. When I hear a good quote, I want to write it down. I use my multi-pen. I wish my multi-pen would fit in that pen loop, but it won't. I tried it earlier. But anyway, did you have a system? Do you have a color coding system for your Commonplace slash catch-all notebook? If you do, let me know about it. Or maybe it ain't a color code. Maybe you just have some kind of system to help keep it organized, because that's kind of the whole point. I mean, the way I understand it, the whole point of a Commonplace catch-all notebook is just to puke ideas into it, basically. Now, let me tell you about some pens. Let me tell you about a pen I have coming, and a pen I'm thinking about buying. That Jinhao pen we just did a review on, the 9019, and I said in that video, do you have any suggestions for another pen I could get that has a number 8 nib? Because the Jinhao is okay, It ain't like, oh my goodness, this pen's so phenomenal. It's okay. But I'd like to try another pen that has that number 8 nib, because that number 8 nib is sexy. Let's be honest. And somebody in the comments gave me a list of several different options. So I ordered one. The Hongdian A9. That is coming tomorrow. Should be here tomorrow. And I didn't like none of the colors they had, but I got a green one because it was like the least bad color that they had. So, not in love with the color, but I'm looking forward to trying out the pen. Obviously, the Hongdian that I already got, this one and the Black Forest. Love those pens. They're awesome. So I can't wait to see how this one holds up. Looking forward to it. Number 8 nib. Ugly color, but whatever, you know. So that one's coming. It's going to be here tomorrow, like I said. And we'll talk about it eventually. Do a review on it probably at some point in a couple weeks. And I'm also thinking about Rotring. How do y'all like Rotring? I got in my cart in the Save for Later section, Rotring 800 retractable ballpoint pen. It's $46. It ain't cheap. But I like the look of it. I'm pretty sure I would use it. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Do y'all have any Rotring pens? I know they're famous for like their mechanical pencils and whatnot. But what's y'all's opinions on Rotring? Also, I told y'all in the review we just did on the Jinhao that I had some questions for y'all. First of all, y'all, I feel like y'all like these kind of questions. If you had $100, one Benjamin Franklin, if you had $100 or your equivalent in your country that you come from, that you could spend on a fountain pen and you were just going to buy one, what is a $100 fountain pen that you would buy? Because I'm thinking about trying a $100 fountain pen. We talked about it. You watched my video where I rank my fountain pens. All my fountain pens are like less than $50. Probably less than $40. They all are. So if I was going to make the leap, just dip my toe into some pricier pens. What's a $100 pen that y'all would get? I could go look it up and research it, but I'm already trying to kill myself researching cameras at the moment, which is about to come to an end. But I figured I'd just ask y'all, because most of y'all are way more knowledgeable about the fountain pens than I am. The comments show that. I read the comments and I'm like, oh, okay, didn't know that. So I'm asking y'all, if y'all were going to spend $100 on a fountain pen, I'm not talking about, well, if I had $100, I'd buy 5 of these cheap ones. I'm like, if you could buy one pen for $100, give or take, what would you buy? I'd be interested to know. I might pick one up. Dip my toe into the product. I'll tell you a story. I was at work. I want to say it was a couple weeks ago. And I've told y'all I go into the break room at work. It's more like a kitchen, really, is what it is. But I go in there to assign jobs because the cell phone service in my office is bad. Not good at all. So I go in there to assign jobs in the afternoon. And I was sitting there with my traveler's notebook. I've showed y'all how I use my traveler's notebook for assigning jobs at work. I was sitting there, assigning jobs and writing them down in my traveler's notebook with my, I want to say it was this, my M2 Hongdian. And my boss come in there to get water. And he's like, that is a fancy looking pen. I was like, yeah, it's pretty cheap. It's only like $20. Actually, I don't even know if it's that much. He's like, that's an expensive pen. And that's when it occurred to me, like, it kind of is. Like, when you think about normal, everyday people, like, what do they do? Where's the D2 at? Because this is a pretty popular one. What do people do? they buy a 12 pack of these for like $12. And then they just use them, lose them, abuse them, whatever. So if you tell somebody, hey, you paid $12 and you got 12 pins, I paid $20 for this one, they're going to be like, man, that's expensive. So like, it was kind of some perspective. Like, I'm not, saying one thing or another. I'm just saying, I sit there thinking about it for a minute, like, you're kind of right. It is an expensive pin. Like, just, I didn't even bother telling him, like, there's some pins out there that cost over $1,000. If you think this one's expensive. But we kind of lose track of that sometimes, don't we? Like, we buy these fountain pens, like this 9019 that costs $15. And we're like, man, that's a cheap pen. But to like normal people, like regular everyday people who aren't into the fountain pen thing, $15 for one pen, that's not cheap. That's expensive. So this funny story, I thought put some things into perspective. But if you could buy a pen for $100, what would you get? So we're going to close out with two subjects that are probably going to turn into a rant. In fact, the last one is a rant. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that right now. If you like rants, hang in there. We got one coming. So I want to ask y'all, because in the vlog I just did last week, I talked about trying to get my bag set up to where I can carry my notebooks and my camera in there. And I've been doing research on cameras because I want to buy another camera. My camera that I have now, that I'm recording on with right now, is the Canon R50. It's like a basic entry-level camera. And I'm going to have it paid off at the end of the month, at the end of August. So I'm thinking about getting another one, a full frame. That is my criteria. Why am I looking for a new camera? Because I just want something to take pictures with. I can take pictures with this camera, but I want something full frame. This one is an APS-C sensor. I want something with a full frame sensor, just to try it out, see what it's like. And size. This camera, the R50, is made for this. Like what I'm doing with it, for making vlogs, doing videos. It's tiny. It's a tiny little camera. I want something with a little bit more grip to it. Like my hands, like I don't have like big hands. I have long hands. And gripping a hold of this camera can be a little bit challenging sometime for my hands. So what I want to do is get another camera to put in my bag and tote around with me, and leave this one here. And the primary purpose of this one will be to do YouTube. Because like earlier, I went to set up this video. I'm like, I got to get ready to do the Ramblethon. I had to get the camera out of my bag. And I'm like, I wish I'd just leave it here all the time. So I want to get a bigger full frame camera to tote around with me and take some pictures. The video is not super important, but let me talk about my list here. For you camera aficionados out, if you're not a camera aficionado, you feel free. Put your 2 cents in the comments too. I'm looking for, first, now I got a couple options here. One of them I've kind of already canceled out, but we'll talk about it anyway. A Canon. I want to stick with Canon because that's what I got. I already got some lenses. But I want to get an old DSLR, maybe. Like a 5D Mark III, 6D Mark II, something like that. Because I'm mainly, everybody, watch a review of those cameras, like, oh, the video on it's terrible. Well, I got this to do video. I'm really just worried about pictures. You can get one 5D Mark III for around $500. You can get a 5D Mark IV for a little under $1,000. But I'm thinking about there's other ones too I'm considering, but it's just the price is good. And you can get what 10 years ago was a professional grade camera that costs thousands of dollars. You can get it now for less than $1,000. So the Canon, the 5D, the old one, the Mark ones, it's old. It'll make me learn, white balance, ISO, aperture, shutters. It'll help me learn. It'll force me to learn those things. You know what I'm saying? No 4K video, but who cares? I'm not even recording today on 4K. Y'all know how my camera always overheats? So today I'm recording in 1080 because 4K makes my camera overheat. They're big and heavy. I don't hate that. EF lenses, I'd have to get EF lenses for it instead of the RF that I have now. But I can adapt those EF lenses to work on this camera if I want to. The optical viewfinder I'm not in love with, but then again, like I said, it'll make me learn how to take pictures. Crap ton of lenses available for the EF mount, and it be weather sealed. I'll tell you, I took this camera, if y'all watch, the video I did for St. Augustine Celtic Festival. I'm pretty sure I made a video for that. I'm not 100% sure I did. It was raining at the festival, and I was scared to death to take pictures and record video on my camera because I know it's not weather sealed. But this old DSLR would be weather sealed. I wouldn't have to worry about it. Then another one I was considering, but I'm not really considering it anymore, was the EOS RP, which is one of Canon's first mirrorless cameras. Not really in love with it, so I'm just going to kind of skip over that one. And then the Canon R8 is probably what I'm going to get, to be honest with you, because I've been thinking about it the last couple of days. Canon R8. The reason the R8 is basically the replacement for the RP. It costs about $1,200-ish, but I looked on Canon's website. You can get a refurbished one for like $10.99. So I'd have to probably pay payments on it. Maybe, probably not. Maybe I'd have to pay payments on it. Has the same crappy battery that my R50 here has, but at the same time, there's an extra battery. There's extra batteries. I have 4 batteries for this camera. And really what eats up the batteries when I'm recording video on 4K. That's kind of what eats up the battery. But I'm mainly buying this for pictures. So yeah, it takes the same crappy battery that this camera takes, but I have 4 of them. I mean, I'm good to go there. Also, if I get the R8, I already have lenses. Not this one. But the 16mm that I'm recording on now, the 50mm that's in my bag, and my next lens that I'm going to buy is the RF 24 to 105mm. That's going to be like my main lens for when I'm out at the festivals taking pictures and stuff. Like, that's the one thing that stunk about my camera when I took it to the festivals earlier this year, is that I only had, like, this is a 18 to 45, and then I got the 50 in my bag, but it still wasn't quite enough for me to get footage of bands playing and stuff like that. It was still, it's a little bit too far away. So I'm going to get the 24 to 105. The R8's not weather sealed per se. Has no shutter curtain. This is according to the research I've done. Has no shutter curtain. No mechanical shutter, but it does have C-Log 3. I do not color grade my videos, but if I ever wanted to, it's got C-Log 3. So we're there. I'm already ready to go. And then, a little rant about camera channels out there. I watch all these videos on the cameras I'm looking at, and anything. If I'm looking at a pen, if I'm looking at a fountain pen, I'll watch, dozen reviews on that fountain pen to see if I really want it. Same anything else. I can't tell you how many videos I've looked at for the Rotorfaden Taschenbegleiter because I want one so bad. But I cannot justify paying over $200 for a notebook cover. But you watch these camera channels, and I watch these videos, and I'm like, man, some of y'all just don't get it. You know, here's some knocks about these cameras. Well, the R8 doesn't have IBIS. Doesn't have in-body image stabilization. Neither does this R50, and it's been doing just fine. Like, would I like to have IBIS? Yeah, but it's not a big deal. That footage I just showed y'all of the rainstorm, that was handheld, and I thought it turned out pretty smooth for the most part. Oh, the motion blur. You know, if you're taking pictures of fast-moving things, you know, the motion blur would be terrible. I don't take pictures like that. The subpar video performance. It's fine. Like, it's just fine. Like, especially unless, you know, you're talking about the old Canon 5D DSLRs I'm talking about. 1080. Now, the 4K is crap, or they don't even have it. But the 1080 is fine. I'd be willing to bet most of y'all didn't know I was recording this in 1080. Y'all probably didn't know all the videos before this were in 4K. You probably can't even tell the difference. It only has one card slot. The 5D DSLR has a 2-card slot, but one of them is like a card that nobody freaking uses. But it only has one card slot. So does this. Like, I'm not out making money with my camera. I'm not photographing weddings, graduate. I'm not doing none of that. Like, there's no client work. I'm not getting paid for this. I understand if you get paid for it, then that dual card slot come in handy, but I don't need that. Don't have a built-in flash. This does. Does this? Yeah, the R50 has a built-in flash. I had never used it. Like, maybe one time. And the picture I took looked like garbage. So I don't use the built-in flash because it don't look good. Frames per second. Well, it only shoots 3 frames, or it only shoots 6 frames per second, or it only shoots, you know. I don't take pictures like that. Like, I look at something and I snap a picture and then I move on to the next thing. I don't. I'm not the paparazzi out here. Well, it's only got this many megapixels. What is it? R8 has 24 megapixels. I have it wrote on the board up here. It only does 24 megapixels. I'm not zooming in to my pictures. I'm not editing my pictures. Oh, it doesn't do very good RAW files. I'm not editing my pictures. JPEG all day. whatever picture the camera takes in JPEG is all right with me. So some of the camera channels, like, I understand their audience is probably other professional photographers, but you got to keep in mind, some of us are not professionals. I don't care about editing my photos. I don't really care about color grading my videos. I just want to turn it on and use it, and it work. But anyway, there's a little rant about camera channels. I'm probably going to get an R8 soon, but we'll see. I got 1 month about until I pay off the R50. I got one more payment on it, which is only like $60-something. So I'm not sure if I'm going to finance the R8 or just pay for it up front. I need to do some more thinking on it. And finally, before we get to the song, because I know that's what y'all waiting on, if you stayed this long, you're my buddy. I really like you. Because I'm sure when I started talking about cameras, people probably turned off. So if you're still here, I like you. But this is pretty off topic from what I normally talk about. But I'm annoyed by it, so I'm just going to share it with you. And maybe you share my opinion as well. So San Diego Comic-Con was last week, and I'm a nerd. Maybe you're a nerd. So we look forward to Comic-Con. I'm not going to California to attend it, but I look forward to San Diego Comic-Con because that's when the new trailers come out for things I like. So we got the new trailer for Starfleet Academy that's coming out next year. I'm kind of excited about that. Not sure, because Star Trek has been pretty up and down lately. Like, Discovery started off pretty good, but when they got towards like the last 2 seasons, I thought it was kind of not good. Strange New Worlds is fantastic, even though some of their episodes is like, not sure what you're thinking there. But for the most part, Strange New Worlds is really good. Star Trek Picard, first season was a little weak, but it got better after that. And, yeah. What was the other one? The Nickelodeon one. Prodigy. I thought Prodigy was pretty good. And, Lower Decks. Lower Decks was pretty good. I really like that one. But for the most part, Star Trek has been hit or miss ever since it came back in 2016 or whatever it was when Discovery premiered. But so I'm pretty excited about Starfleet Academy. I'm not getting my hopes up too high because I'm worried it's just going to be a continuation of Discovery, which was kind of crappy at the end. But I was on YouTube and I found a video that had all the trailers that were released at Comic-Con. So I watched it. And I was pretty disappointed because I like science fiction. So they had a trailer for the It prequel, Welcome to Derry, which not really into that, but I'm sure it's, fine. And they had, trailer for War of the Worlds. And I'm like, I don't understand the movie. Like, I know in the trailer you only have so much time to explain what you're doing here, but I didn't like the way they explained it. I'm like, how do you mess up War of the Worlds? Like, it's an old story. Just tell it the way it was written. But anyway, I didn't understand it. Predator, Badlands, doesn't look good. It might be, but it don't look good. Alien Earth, that one actually looked pretty good. What was another one? I can't remember all of them, but I know some of them I was just like, you're not doing a good job of getting me interested and wanting to watch this. And I was just like, do they just not know how to make good TV shows and movies anymore? And I was telling my buddy, I'm like, we've gotten to the point now, we always talk about the dumbification, of our society and how social media plays a huge role in that. And we've gotten to the point where somebody will make a movie and the story is secondary. Like if they make a movie and they put a bunch of CGI and special effects in it, they're like, oh, we don't have to worry about telling a good story. People are going to see all the special effects and be like, oh, that was such a great movie. Why? Because it had CGI in it? The story was garbage. Tell me a good, that's my thing. I like CGI, I like special effects as much as anybody else, but I want a good story. Tell me a good story. You're not fooling me with the CGI and stuff. That's cool, but I need a story. But I guess that's probably why I watch a bunch of YouTube, because I would just rather watch regular folks being creative and making their own thing and putting it up on the YouTube, and I watch it. And I don't have to worry about some Hollywood executive who is completely out of touch with reality and doesn't know anything about storytelling make some bloated, overpriced movie with a bunch of CGI and bad actors in it. I ain't got to worry about it. Anyway, that's my rant on the current state of entertainment. It's trash. I don't like it. Not that there ain't some good things. There is some good things. But for the most part, nobody knows how to make a good show anymore. Nobody knows how to tell a good story. I'll be honest with you. I did not know what song I was going to play y'all until about an hour and a half ago. So before we get to the tin whistle part, I did say we had one question from Average Pen Guy. I posted up the video on the Q&A, and he was the only one that asked me a question. Stay curious. Do you use pencils at all? I'm on a pencil kick, and Kuratoga pencil kick. I've just about stopped using fountain pens. Got a new Uni Zento pen that has been my go-to. Do I use pencils? Not really. I bought, and y'all know this because I did a video on it, I bought the Blackwing sampler set, And when you buy that, you get a coupon for a full 12 pack. So I did that. The pearls are my favorite. But I ain't used the first one out of that box. I have a Blackwing pearl, the one I liked. Where's the other one? There's another one somewhere. Maybe it's at work too, but they're, I guess, both at work. 2 of my Blackwings are at work. I need to take my sketchbook back to work. That's what I need to do. And I just don't like pencil because it's so light. Like when you write with pencil, like it's not dark and it's hard for me to read. But I got some mechanical pencils. I thought this one, the Zebra Delgard, and I like this one. I used it quite a bit in that one Ernest Hemingway notebook I got. So I like this. It only holds 1 lead though. So make sure you know that before you buy it. It could be a problem for you. Do I have another one? Yes. I got the M701 Zebra. It matches the pen, if you didn't know that. I don't know what size lead I don't know what kind of lead I have in there. I don't even know what size lead goes in that thing. So I got some pencils, and I used the Blackhawks. I used the Blackwing from a sketchbook when I sketch anything. But as far as writing goes, I don't really use pencils. They're just not my jam. I can't read. It's not dark enough. I'm blind. Can't read it. I need the boldness. So that was the only question we have. I am still wanting to get a hold of that. Is it the Signature Zento? Yeah, the Zento Signature from Uni. Still trying to get a hold of one of them. Whenever somebody decides to get them back in stock, everybody quits buying them. Y'all quit buying them. I'm trying to get one. But anyway, I was like, what song are we going to do today? And unfortunately, y'all are in my way. So I'm going to have to try and read the tabs around the camera. So I was looking through my website here that I use, whistletabs.com. And I was looking at the songs. I'm like, don't really know that one. Don't really want to do that one. So we're going to do a hymn. Because I was looking through their hymns, and I found one of my favorite hymns in there. And we're going to play that. I'm not even going to tell you the name. I'll tell you the name afterward. See if you know hymns, see if you can guess it. If I can see the tabs through my microphone cable. It went a lot better when I practiced it before the camera was on. Appreciate y'all joining me for this month's Ramblethon. Hopefully next month I'll have more better things to ramble about. If you're new here, don't give up on me yet, okay? The Ramblethons are usually pretty off the chain. Kind of. As off the chain as stationary can be. I've been Stormin' Norman. I've said things. See y'all for the Asvine review, which will be next. Y'all have a good day.